It's time now for Fort Leboeuf Bison football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream. Visit sunny1057fm.org for all of the action all season long. Brought to you by the Corry Federal Credit Union at corryfcu.org.
Additional support comes from Brozell Construction, Family Inc. Innovations, Leboeuf Creek Cattle, Waterford Beverage, Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill, High T Fence Systems, O'Brien Transmission, J.H. Napa Auto Parts, Jim Brozell Construction, Wise Physical Therapy, and Al's Appliance Sales and Service.
All right, good evening and welcome to Carmen Bonito Field here in Waterford, Pennsylvania, as your first place Fort Leboeuf Bison take on the Grove City Eagles out of Region 4. The Bison coming off a 32-3 win over Northeast last week as they scored 32 unanswered points in the second half to bring home the victory, while Grove City defeated Slippery Rock by a score of 33-20 last week as they outscored Slippery Rock 26-0 in the second half. So we should have a good one here for you tonight. I'm Doug Gilghrist alongside my partner Ben Brozich, and I'm going to throw it to Ben for some keys to the game.
Yeah, hello everybody. So tonight's game, I think, comes down to a couple things. Number one, Grove City has a great running game. They have two very good running backs, and we're going to have to stop them if we want to win tonight's game. Number two, which we've been mentioning throughout the season, we got to hold down the penalties. This is probably going to be a game a lot like last week, where it's a lot of ground and pound. But if we do those penalties, I think Grove City might be good enough that they can beat us if we have too many of those. Thirdly, we need some splash plays in the passing game like we did last week. I'm pretty sure we're going to get some turnovers in the second half because that's just how this defense rolls. I'm pretty sure we're going to get our yards running. But I have a feeling they're going to be able to run the ball well tonight. And I have a feeling that if we don't get some key passing plays on key situational football on key downs, I don't think we need to throw for 200 or 300 yards. I think we could get away with 100 yards at key moments. So just like last week where they threw a nice post route for a touchdown, once they started getting the running game moving and in the second half there weren't as many holding penalties, that brought that safety up and we were easily able to throw a nice splash play for a touchdown. And then on the defense, once we got a little bit of a lead, we were able to pin our ears back, blitz some linebackers, especially the outside linebackers, all right, and then get some interceptions. So we're going to this is going to be a slightly tougher game, I think, than last week. Now, the good news is when they played Northeast, when Grove City played Northeast beat them. Now, that was the beginning of the season, and a lot has changed since then. But if we were able to handle Northeast, that gives us a good sign that, you know what, we might be able to handle them as well.
Absolutely. And, Grove City is a deeper team than Northeast is, so I think Northeast kind of ran out of steam here in the second half last week, and so I don't think that's going to happen with Grove City this year. They have a very comparable roster size than Fort Leboeuf does, so I don't think that's going to come into play this week. Both teams have pretty good defenses. Both teams had a lot of turnovers last week. Fort Leboeuf forced 5 turnovers, while Grove City had 3. Both teams had 3 interceptions last week, so it's not going to be easy for either passing game this week. And both teams average over 200 yards rushing a game, so I think that's going to be a key to the game. Whoever can stop the run better is going to have the best chance to win this game.
Well, and you also have to remember that Grove City has a freshman quarterback, and I believe, is it a freshman running back as well?
Yes.
Leading the charge. So for them to have this record, that must mean that they have a lot of, not to take anything away from the freshman quarterback, I'm sure he's very good, but you probably have a lot of upperclassmen who can support him and kind of keep him from having to win the game on his own. I haven't seen him play yet, but that would be my assumption as a freshman.
Absolutely.
But I think what really would help us is if we can rattle the quarterback's cage a little bit. Now, the way that our defense tackles and the way that we've been able to kind of fluster quarterbacks in the last few weeks, hopefully we can do something like that. I don't know how many zone blitzes and schemes like that high school football has, but if we could throw something at him that he hasn't seen on tape, that might be an advantage to us.
Definitely. They are getting ready for the national anthem, so we will pause to let you hear the national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. All the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red flare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So, I want to make sure I mention this is our Corry Federal Credit Union pregame show. So I think what we're going to have a hard time doing, though, is they have two running backs that have gotten some substantial yards, Grove City has. And are we going to be able to stay fresh enough and compete with that running game with our running backs? Sadowski is a great running back, obviously. He has cramped up a few games. Are the backups, when they come in, are they going to be able to do what needs to be done? I think they can. But it's really going to come down to that offensive line. And I'm going to really try to focus on what some of the offensive linemen are doing because I believe they're really good. I don't know that they necessarily have to have these holding penalties, which I think is coming out of trying to outplay what you're capable of. Do more than what you're capable.
Definitely.
Because in the second half, they had more than enough blocking. And obviously, Northeast was tired. But there's just a part of me that thinks that if they have a little bit more confidence in themselves, we're going to get a lot more consistent running plays than just in a quarter here or a quarter there. Tonight might be, hopefully, the game where we play a complete game, all four quarters, consistently, and hopefully we win all three parts of the game.
Absolutely. And
they're going to do the coin toss.
Yep. And
I will say, looking right away at their players, they have some very large men on the line. Number 77 for Grove City is.
Yes, he is
quite big.
Large man. One good thing about Grove City's running game in terms of Fort Leboeuf's defense is their quarterback isn't one of their rushers. He barely has any yards rushing all year, so they're not going to have to worry about spying on the quarterback as well, which a lot of high school teams have their quarterback as one of their big rushers as well. So they can just key on the backs in the backfield, and it looks like Fort Leboeuf's going to get the ball to start the game. So we are moments away from kickoff here as number 24, Jonah Stuccio, is teeing it up for the Grove City Eagles.
And am I seeing the numbers right? We have Xavier Blows, and is that
I believe Vamaro, number 7.
returning the kicks? Vamaro's done a good job the last couple weeks
He
bringing back
he has.
some kicks. So hopefully he'll be able to get a good field position return here.
And this is another key to the game too, is the kicking game, whereas Fort Leboeuf's kicker constantly kicks the ball into the end zone. We'll see if Grove City can do the same thing, or if we can get some returns for the Bison.
Well, it was really nice to see Cants get a nice long kick at the end of last game in the second half.
Absolutely.
After missing a few. Hopefully we got those issues worked out and we're more consistent.
And here's the kick, and we're underway. It's fielded by Blows at the 2. Up the middle, 15-20, and he gets stacked up right across the 20-yard line, maybe to the 22. And that's where the Bison will start their game.
Number 77, Carson Heckathorn. He was out there for the coin toss, and he's been bouncing around dancing. He's pretty fired up for this game. So, being the captain, being such a large man, I think we're going to be calling his name quite a bit today.
Yep, he's going to be tough to get around. As Dominic Walters starts the game in the shotgun. Takes a snap, handoff to Sadowski. Around left side, he gets about 5 or 6 yards. Turned nothing into a pretty decent gain for Skylar Sadowski. And is there a flag on the play?
That's what I heard.
There is. Let's see which way it's going.
That would have been a nice way to start the game.
Yep. They haven't moved the ball yet, so I don't know.
Well, maybe it was
maybe they picked it up because
on Grove City.
They're placing it right where they left it.
Yep.
So
all right.
Give Sadowski a 6-yard gain up to we'll give him a 5-yard gain and up to the 27. Walters back in the shotgun again. Sadowski to his right. He hands it off. Sadowski up over to the 30. Very close to a first down. And they're stopping the clock. Let's see where they mark it.
I'm feeling really good about this run game already because they're getting past the first level. They're not getting hit in the backfield like they have a few times in the other games to start it off.
Definitely. And we'll give Sadowski 4 on that play. Brings up a 3rd down and 1. And we should mention Skylar Sadowski was named the District 10 Player of the Week after his 230 yards rushing last week. So looking for a big game from him again. As Walters under center, hands it off to Blows around the right end. He's got the first down. And a short gain, but he only needed 1. So we'll give him about 2 yards up to the 33. And that's the first down of the game.
Yeah. Fort Leboeuf has very much a workman's-like attitude right now. You can tell they weren't too emotional before the game. They just kind of showed up like, let's get to work. And it seems like that's the atmosphere and the energy they have right now.
Absolutely. Walters back under center. They haven't done a lot of that this year. He's usually in the shotgun. A little movement before the snap. Let's see which way they call it. And it is a false start on Fort Leboeuf. So, yeah, they definitely have to cut down those penalties, especially pre-snap penalties. That'll kill you every time.
Yeah. Luckily, at 1st and 15, obviously you don't want that, but that's better than, say, 3 and 12 or something of that nature. So we do have a chance to get some chunk plays back. But I just don't know if you want to go into the passing game right away. I think you want to get a feel for what Grove City does on defense.
Right. Yeah, they can stick with the running game.
By playing it safe. And you definitely don't want to turn it over. So.
Absolutely. Walters under center again. Man in motion. Hands it off up the middle. Not too much there. As Sadowski gets back to about the 30-yard line. For about 2 yards.
Yeah, they went right at Carson Heckathorn, 77. playing defensive tackle.
Yeah, I don't know how much they're going to be able to gain going up the middle in this game.
Yeah, the other runs were a little bit to the left or to the right. Not sweeps or anything, but more like stretch plays.
Yep. And Sadowski needs that room to operate, I think. And Walters fakes the handoff, and he's going to go nowhere as he was wrapped up in the backfield for about a 3-yard loss, as that play was doomed from the get-go, as he's dropped back at the 27 and we'll call it the 28-yard line.
Isn't it amazing how the energy changes just being first and long as opposed to being first and 10?
Yep.
How everybody's energy changes.
Exactly.
The blocking isn't nearly as effective.
We're under 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter in a scoreless game. Walters takes a snap, hands off to Sadowski. He's got some running room. He broke a tackle, but he couldn't get out of the last tackle as he gains about 6. But that will bring up 4th down as the Bison are forced to punt here on 4th and 7.
Yeah, if he could have broken that last tackle, he might have really had a chance for the first down. I think that was a smart play by the coach. You know, if you can get the draw, if you can get the run to get the extra yards, great. If not, you're playing it safe and fight for another day.
Yep.
And our punter is in a good position to get a good punt off.
Absolutely. So Lucas Cants back to punt. And it's a low line drive. It's going to bounce, take a Fort Leboeuf roll all the way inside the 20, inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line. So pretty good punt overall for Cants. And that will, nope, I was going to throw it to a word from our sponsors, but they're coming right out, so there's no timeout here. So that'll put the Eagles back at the 14-yard line to start their first series of the game.
And there's that good field position I was talking about. That was a good place to kick the punt. Anything inside the 20 is great. Obviously, inside the 10 would be better.
Absolutely. So freshman quarterback Heath Homan is back in the shotgun. He takes the snap, hands off to wide receiver coming around, and he is stuffed in the backfield for a 4-yard loss. I think that was number 24, I believe, was Stuccio.
Yeah.
As he loses 3 yards on that first play.
And I believe it was 62 for us, Carson Stoles, hitting him in the backfield.
And that brings up 2nd and 11. Homan back to pass, little screen pass out to the left, and he's got some running room into the secondary, the 40 to the 50, one man to beat, he fumbles, and it's picked up by Fort Leboeuf. And I didn't see who recovered. Number 1, Walters, with the fumble recovery. Didn't see who knocked the ball out, but the Fort Leboeuf Bison come up with the first big play of the game.
We have a player getting a breath. He might be injured. Can't tell what his number is. Is that number 2? Number 7?
7, Vamaro.
Vamaro, yeah.
And that was a 58-yard pass play, but it gets stopped after the fumble.
Well, and that's that don't quit attitude that the Bisons have. No matter what's going on, they're going to hustle. And they turned what could be a devastating play off the beginning of the game into something positive.
Absolutely. Let's see if they can take advantage of the first turnover of the game, as Walters at the 31-yard line blows in motion and plays blown dead.
That's the second penalty of the game.
Yep.
If we're going to average a penalty a drive, that's not going to be good.
Nope. They definitely need to cut that out. They're
Grove City's too good for this.
Yep. And we're at 7:08 remaining here in the first quarter. Still scoreless between Fort Leboeuf and Grove City. And once again, start off with a 1st and 15 as Vamaro comes back into the game. So he was slow getting off the field after that last play, but he is back in the field. As Walters in the shotgun. Blos goes in motion. Walters going to keep it up the middle, and he is stopped for about a 2-3 yard gain.
And that was 75 for Grove City. Jordan Gamble, who made the tackle.
We'll give Walters 2 on that, up to the 27, bringing up a 2nd down and 13. Now, it took both of these teams an entire half last week to really get going, so having a slow start to this game isn't too unusual. As Walters takes the shotgun snap, rolls to his left, he throws it out to Struchin, who catches it at the 30 and up to the 33 for a gain of about 4 or 5.
Yeah, once again, if they didn't have that penalty, the situation would be very different. We'd be 3rd and maybe 3, maybe 4. Well, 3rd and 5 is what we would be.
Yeah. We got about a 3rd and 8 right now. Need to get to the 41-yard line for a 1st down. Walters back in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right. Back to pass. He's looking right. He's got a man. It's caught for a 1st down by Mikey Vamaro. Up to the 44. That's about an 11-yard gain there.
Yeah, that timing was really good. He threw it high. I don't know that he intended to do that, but Vamaro jumped up and got it. That was a great two-handed catch, and he still kept his balance. He didn't get nervous. And you saw him squat down to take the hit. The hit wasn't there, and then he was able to push forward.
Yep, that was a good route run by Vamaro, too. He went right to the 1st down sticks and turned around, and he hit him right there. As we have a 1st down and 10 at the 44 for the Bison. Approaching 5 minutes to go here on a scoreless 1st quarter. As Sadowski takes a handoff, he's not going to get much, as he maybe loses a yard trying to get around the right side there.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for us to run right up the middle, but we're going to have to do it throughout the game if we want those long outside runs to work, those stretches, those sweeps, those types of things. Because I don't know that we're going to get much yardage going up the middle, but we have to try just to keep them honest.
Absolutely. And Walters back again. Man in motion. Takes the snap. Back to pass. He's
face mask. I saw a face mask.
He is sacked, and his head got twisted around. It looked like he had the face mask, but they're not going to call it. So that's going to be a loss of about 6 on the play.
Yeah.
I thought that was a face mask too, but he might have had him just by the right under the chin strap. But
no, I don't think the referee that would have saw that had the right angle. He was on the other side.
Yeah.
His head was twisted to the left, and the referee was on the right.
Yep, 3rd and 17 now. Blos goes in motion, fakes the handoff to him as he rolls out, and the pass is way too tall for Struchin there. As that will bring up another 4th down for the Bison. And we're at 3:42 left in the 1st quarter. See if Cants can get another good punt off here.
Yeah, with the way Grove City moved the ball on that one play so quickly, let's hope we can get this one inside the 10.
Here's the snap. It's a much better kick. It's going to bounce inside the 30, inside the 20, and down to the 12. So we have a little bit better punt this time, as Grove City will start their next drive at the 12-yard line. Three and a half minutes to go here in the 1st quarter. Still scoreless.
Yeah, and their quarterback doesn't run much, but from what I've seen in the very little bit of time here, he doesn't have to. That line looks pretty good. Being 0-0 with 3:31 in the first quarter, I think that's an okay place to be right now.
And Homan lining up in the pistol formation, running back behind him. He hands off up the middle, and he's going to be wrestled down at the line of scrimmage. That is number 9, Gavin Purdy, for no gain.
Ethan Horn, number 70, just completely wrapped him up. So those have been 2 tackles where the running back didn't have anywhere to go. So our defensive line is really stepping up tonight.
Absolutely. Purdy is the Eagles' leading rusher this year with 442 yards rushing. As he's going to get another call up the middle. And not much there, maybe a yard.
And that was Ethan Horn and Sadowski on that tackle. This running back has nowhere to go.
He doesn't. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 8. We'll give him 2 yards on that play. As we're approaching 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Still no score. Homan takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to his left. He's got a man. It's caught,
wow.
But he is knocked down right after the catch for about a 3-yard gain to number 23, Charlie Miller. And that will be a 3-and-out for Grove City.
And who was that on our tackle? I'm trying to look.
I
Number
didn't
7, Vimero.
Yep. So the Bison are going to get the ball back.
Our defense is really showing that they're a formidable opponent.
Absolutely. Held Northeast to 3 points last week. Here's the snap. Not much of a rush. Low kick. It's going to bounce inside Fort Leboeuf territory, and it's going to be down to the 44-yard line.
That was a smart choice.
Definitely.
To let that punt just go.
Yeah.
We got a good roll on it.
And that'll set Fort Leboeuf up at 1st and 10 at the 44. With 1:26 to go here. Still scoreless in the first quarter. And the Bison breaking the huddle. Got Blows to the left, Vimaro to the right. Out wide, Sadowski in the backfield next to Walters. Fakes the handoff, Walters right up the middle. He gets across the line of scrimmage to the 50 for about a 6-yard gain. They're going to mark him just short of the 50 to the 49, so about 5 yards for Walters on that carry. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 5. Definitely a much more manageable situation than they've been in the last couple series.
Yeah, that was good to see a run up the middle that got positive yards.
And Walters back in the shotgun again. Takes a snap, hands it to Sadowski around the right side. He's going to get hit and falls forward for about 3 to the 48-yard line of Grove City.
Yeah, and right now we're just grinding it out. I like that there hasn't been a penalty called yet.
And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 as the first quarter clock is under 30 seconds. This may be the last play of the first quarter. Walters takes the snap, fakes the handoff around the right side. 1st down, gets knocked down at the 40-yard line for about a 7-yard gain for Dominic Walters.
And that'll be the last play of the quarter.
And that will be another 1st down for the Bison as the teams will change ends, and
it is 0-0 at the end of the first quarter.
And we will take a break for a word from our sponsors.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
Support for this broadcast is provided by Family Ink Innovations, specializing in screen printing, banners, yard signs, and much more. Located at 319 High Street in Waterford and 104 West Smith Street in Corry, and online at FamilyInkInnovations.com. Phone 814-462-6628. The Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks Family Ink Innovations for their support.
And I saw for Grove City, Drake Moore looked like he was on the field for a little bit talking to the coach. He might be injured. I am not sure.
And as we begin the second quarter, we have a 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line for the Bison as Sadowski takes a handoff around the left end. He's got some running room into the secondary of the 20. He runs over a guy, and he is knocked out of bounds at the 18-yard line.
And, man, did he make that DB pay for trying to tackle him. He lined up. He wasn't even concerned about being pushed out of bounds. He just wanted to make sure he paid for that tackle.
Although there is a penalty on the play,
Oh.
as they will move it back. Once again, the penalties killing the Bison.
Am I counting right? Fourth drive, fourth holding penalty?
It's a third penalty.
Third penalty?
Yeah.
There was a false start.
Yeah, there were two false starts. This is the first
Oh, okay. All right.
in-play penalty.
All right.
Yeah, I'm actually keeping track of the penalties this
There you
game. So. But
I knew they were coming.
yep, that's a 10-yarder. That'll move it back to the 45. The penalty happened 5 yards down the field, so we'll bring up a 1st and 15. And Walters takes a snap, back to pass. It's got Struchin over the middle, caught at the 25 to the 20 to the 15. And that is a 30-yard gain from Walters to Aiden Struchin, as they're going to mark it at, yes, right at the 15. So exactly a 30-yard pass play.
And they're going quick to the line. You can tell that the coach is starting to trust Struchin more and more.
Absolutely. As they're going no huddle, Walters hands off. It's Sadowski, the right side, gains about 4, down to about the 11-yard line. As the Bison are inside the red zone for the first time in the game. As Sadowski gains about 3 on that play, bringing up 2nd and 7.
And they still have room for a first down before they score.
And this is how Sadowski works. He, picks up 3, 4, 2 at a time in the first half, and then he just wears down that defense, and then he breaks some. I mean, he had a 20-yard run on that play that got called back, but this has kind of been his MO this year. And Struchin goes in motion. Handoff to Struchin. He's going to get nowhere as a flag is thrown right at the outset of the play. And it's going to be against the Bison. We'll see if they accept this penalty or take it, because the gain on the play wasn't very much. Illegal shift. And they are going to walk it off. So that's another 5 yards for the Bison.
Yeah, we're just a little too anxious to get off the line. They had that happen last week, but it was after the game was kind of decided, I believe.
Brings up a 2nd and 12. Back at the 13. Oh, they declined the penalty since there was no gain on the play. So they did decline the penalty. So that'll bring up a third down and about 7. Fakes the handoff, and he gets crushed right at the line of scrimmage, and he will be dropped for no gain. Dominic Walters.
Yeah. So now Kance is going to be coming out, and it's not a guarantee. Does he have a leg that should guarantee it? Absolutely. But we had some bad snaps last week. We had some penetration on the line to get some blocks. Got 2 blocks, I believe. And so right now, I think everybody just needs to do their job, and this should be an easy 3-pointer.
Absolutely. He has 2 47-yarders on the season this year, which are school records. This one from 30 yards. Lucas Kance. Here's the snap. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it is no good. He pushed it to the left.
Wow.
As, once again, he has the leg, but did not have the accuracy on that one. So that will leave the score 0-0 with 9:35 to go here in the second quarter.
By the way that we're playing right now, I think that if we're going to score, it's going to be on defense in the second quarter here, first half. Because you're right. It seems to be our MO is we wear them down in the first half and then we take the lead in the second. But it would be really nice to get a few yards, or a few points, I should say,
Absolutely.
in the second quarter. I don't think you want to rely only scoring in the second half.
Yes, that is not a good recipe for success as Homan takes the snap on 1st and 10 at the 20, and his receiver never looked for the ball as the ball hits number 11, Jimmy Cooper, in the back of the helmet.
Well, he didn't even look like he was expecting the ball the way he was running.
No, he had no idea that ball was coming, so a little bit of miscommunication there.
But I tell you what, that quarterback had an accurate pass.
It was. That brings up 2nd down and 10 at the 20. Homan takes the snap, back to pass. He throws it, and it's complete. But for a short gain, that was number 1, Levi Toth, who gained about 3 yards on that play.
And that was Blos on the tackle. And I got to tell you, that was a great thing he did, shedding the block that he had, because that blocker had the angle. He was able to get away, stumbled, and then was able to make that ankle tackle. Really good effort.
Another 3rd down and long here for the Eagles. 3rd down and 7 at the 23 as Homan takes the snap. He's going to throw one deep. He adjusts, and it is caught on the sidelines. What a catch.
Austin Goff.
By number 0, Austin Goth. And
yeah, that was a great catch. That was a soft pass, had a big arc to it over to the sideline. Could have been picked, but it almost like it came straight down right into his hands.
Absolutely. That's about a 16-yard gain up to the 39-yard line. So that gives Grove City their first down of the game as there's a handoff up the middle. And he stopped for a short gain. It's number 24, Jonas Struccio, for about 2.
Yeah, right now I think Grove City has more of a passing attack. Not saying that we don't, but they're showing a better ability to push the ball down the field a little bit. So I think we're going to have to get a turnover. They might be able to get some points on this drive.
Homan back to pass. He's going to air it out again deep. And this ball is caught again at the 20, the 50, or at the 30, down to the 21-yard line.
There's a flag. I'm not sure if that's going to be offensive pass interference or defensive pass interference.
Yeah, it's going to be interference by somebody. Let's see which way they're going to call it.
Yeah, I'm concerned that receiver has been able to get a jump ball twice in a row now.
Pass interference, defense. So that will be declined.
Yep.
And that was a nice pitch and catch there.
Now the problem is if they can keep going to this receiver, we're going to have to play the safety on that side. That's going to open up the run game to the left side.
And flag
Sadowski
and
jumped.
Another penalty for the Bison. That's going to move it 5 more yards. And that'll set them up 1st and 5 at the 15. Homan hands it off up the middle, and for about a 2 or 3 yard gain for Stuccio.
It'll be 2nd and short. 0-0. We have 7:30 left in the second quarter. And I just feel like Grove City is getting into a groove here, and our penalties are not helping.
And we have not seen Jackson Wilson for Grove City. He is one of their leading rushers this year, so he may be injured. As there's a handoff, get a 1st down across the 10 to about the 8 yard line for Stuccio. Gives Grove City a 1st down and goal at the 7 yard line.
Somebody's running in late to the defense. Somebody's running out. That could become problematic.
1st and goal at the 7. Homan with the snap. Hands it off up the middle. And he will be stopped after a very short gain is Gavin Purdy. He gained about a yard. They're going to mark it at the 5. So about 2 yards for Purdy.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the Bison have shut down their running game up until these last couple of plays.
I think you might see a pass near our sideline here, closer to us on the left.
6:20 to go here in the second quarter. Still scoreless as Grove City. Homan tries to do a quarterback sneak, and he is met at the line of scrimmage by number 62, Carson Stoltz, as he crushed him. Oh, they give him forward progress back up to the line of scrimmage. It looked like he got hit in the backfield, but
yeah, our defense is doing great on the defensive line, but are we going to be able to do good enough to compensate for the offense?
Yep, that brings up a 3rd and goal at the 5. See what the Eagles can pull out here as there's a high snap, and that's Purdy taking the direct snap. That might have been Purdy last time too, not the quarterback, as Purdy takes that one up the middle.
Yeah, that's a smart play. They need that extra blocker to win that battle at the line.
Yep.
It's 4th and 1. They're lining up quickly, and somebody called a timeout.
Looks like there's going to be a timeout by Fort Leboeuf.
Yeah, smart call.
Yep.
Smart call.
So we will take a break and be right back.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Leboeuf Creek Cattle, phone 814-572-7979. Waterford Beverage at 12001 Peach Street, phone 814-796-2507. Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill at 12711 Route 19 in Waterford, phone 814-796-2017. Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by High T Fence Systems in Waterford, online at hightfenceinc.com. O'Brien Transmission Service in Youngsville, phone 814-563-7120. J.H. Napa Auto Parts in Corry, Union City, and Waterford, online at napaonline.com.
Okay, and we're coming back out, and they did the Wildcat formation, or a version of it. They very well could be doing that again.
Absolutely. Biggest play of the game so far here. 4th down and goal at the 1. 5:20 to go first half. They set up at a full house backfield, and they send a couple receivers out to the right. And it's Purdy again, and he's stacked up at the goal line. He breaks some tackles, and he's in for a touchdown.
Yep.
They had him in the backfield initially, but he was able to break through. And
we have a player on the ground, and
score a touchdown.
He's hurting.
Yes, It looks like it's Sadowski. He's getting up off the ground and coming to the sidelines. The referees are discussing something.
I'm not sure what they were discussing. I thought it was already called a touchdown.
It was. Did they still give it? Yeah, I think they confirmed the touchdown. So that was a touchdown for Grove City and Gavin Purdy.
Whatever's going on with Sadowski, he's not feeling too good.
No. He was down on the ground for a little while as Lucas Kelly comes out to attempt the extra point. And that ball is up, and it is good. That gives Grove City a 7-0 lead with 5:15 to go here in the first half. And we will take a break for a word from our sponsors.
For Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Jim Brozell Construction at 9298 Peach Street in Waterford. Phone 814-866-2075. Wise Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Waterford. Online at wisept.com. Al's Appliance Sales and Service at 110 High Street in Waterford. Phone 814-796-4007.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
So right as they were going out for the kickoff, Sadowski wanted to go out, and I think the coach said, hold back. I'm not sure if that's going to be just for a play or if that's going to be for a whole series.
And we'll have to see how the Bison respond here after being big momentum swing after the missed field goal, and then Grove City comes down and scores a touchdown to go up 7-0. As here's the kick. It's a deep kick. It's got to bounce at the 7 and taken by Blows at the 5. Up to the 10, 15, 20. He's got some room if he can get around the outside to the 30 and drag down at the 33. So nice little return there by Xavier Blows as he went all the way across the field from the right-hand side to the left-hand side.
And right now I don't see Sadowski out there. Let me know if you see him, but it might be good for Buffalo or for the Bisons to have to lean on their passing game tonight. They haven't really had to do that for a complete drive that I can remember, and it might be nice to see what they can do if they don't have that running game.
Right, and they are going shotgun, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and he fakes the handoff in a slant over the middle, first down and more. As that's a gain of 13 to number 7, Vamaro. Mikey Vamaro with the catch. And Sadowski is not in there. It's Xavier Blows was in the backfield for that first play.
I think the way they've been throwing the ball so far, I think they might have a little bit of success here.
And Walters lines them up here. 1st and 10 at the 47 as he hands the ball off up the middle. Not much running room there. As that was Brady Black.
Well, and the Eagles have a player down.
His first carry of the game. And we will step aside as a Grove City player gets attended to. And we will be right back.
Support for this broadcast is provided by Family Ink Innovations, specializing in screen printing, banners, yard signs, and much more. Located at 319 High Street in Waterford and 104 West Smith Street in Corry, and online at FamilyIncInnovations.com. Phone 814-462-6628. The Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks Family Inc. Innovations for their support.
For Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Leboeuf Creek Cattle. Phone 814-572-7979. Waterford Beverage at 12001 Peach Street. Phone 814-796-2507. Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill at 12711 Route 19 in Waterford. Phone 814-796-2017.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
For Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by High T Fence Systems in Waterford, online at hightfenceinc.com. O'Brien Transmission Service in Youngsville, phone 814-563-7120. J.H. Napa Auto Parts in Corry, Union City and Waterford, online at napaonline.com.
All right, we're back. The Grove City player that was injured was able to get up and walk off the field under his own power. So that we are back with second down and 10 at the 47 with 4:15 to go here in the first half. Walters with the snap, high throw. It's pulled down by Vamaro over the 45 to the 40 to the run out of bounds at about the 37. That's about a 10-yard gain there.
Yeah, this is going to be a pivotal drive for the Bison. I really feel like this is a great opportunity for the passing game to feel confident about themselves and really make teams guess which way are we going to go, run or pass, because we haven't been pass dominant. We've had splash plays, but nothing dominant.
Absolutely, and without Sadowski, they have turned to the pass on this drive, and it's worked. As Walters fakes the handoff to Black, and he will get wrapped up and thrown down in the backfield for a loss of a yard. And they just have no running game to speak of with Skylar Sadowski on the bench.
Yeah, and you can tell that the Eagles are pinning their ears back. They're going after the run. I wouldn't be surprised if we just do several pass plays in a row right now.
And Sadowski is standing on the sidelines with his helmet on. He's probably being held out just for precautionary measures. So I would expect to see him back in the second half. But with 3 minutes to go here in the first half, they're going without him. Walters back to pass. He's going to air it out deep. He has Vamaro, but just overthrown.
He was wide open too.
Yep, he had split the two defenders there, and that ball just had a little bit too much air under it.
It almost looked like he was trying to guide it, and when you throw, you don't want to do that. It almost looked like a shot put more than a football throw. I haven't seen him throw like that at all this year. But when a guy's wide open like that, sometimes you just don't want to mess it up.
Yep, that brings up third down and 12 at the 39. A little bit out of Kansas field goal range right now. They need to gain a little bit to give him a shot. As there's a pass over the middle and just out of the reach of Aiden Struchin. So that will bring up a fourth down. See if they go for it here. As I said, it's a little bit too far for a field goal, but they're kind of in no man's land because a punt isn't going to gain you that much, you know.
It's hard to say what the coach will do. With 2 minutes and 50 seconds left, even if they punt it, the Eagles are going to have a chance to go down the field and score. So I'm not really sure what the coach will do.
Right.
I think you could flip a coin right now.
Looks like they are lining up to go for it here. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go, 4th and 12. They need to get to the 27-yard line for a first down. And Walters takes a snap. He's going to roll to his right. He's going to run it. He's run out of bounds, but going to be short of the first down as he steps out of bounds to the 32. And that will be a change of possession as he gains about 7, but needed about 5 more.
It almost looks like he was intending on running that the entire time.
I think so.
Yeah.
And he just didn't.
They sent the receivers deep, and, you know, he might have had a chance, but I don't think they wanted to roll the dice. They wanted to just have decent field position to play defense on.
And if he had a couple more yards on the sidelines, he might have been able to turn the corner and pick up that extra yardage. And Grove City, Homan back to pass. He's going to throw it deep. And a little bit of miscommunication there as the receiver had stopped.
There's another flag.
There is a flag on the field.
It's hard for me to believe that that's our DB getting a flag, but it might be because the receiver kind of ran right into him.
Yeah, but where the flag was thrown, it wasn't near the receiver, so. Let's see what they're going to call. Ineligible downfield.
Oh,
so the first penalty for Grove City.
Yeah, because I saw the receiver and DB make some contact, but it just looked like the receiver ran right into him.
Absolutely.
It didn't look like it was anything that you would call a flag on.
The receiver stopped his route and Homan threw it deep. So that'll bring up a first down and 15 at the 32. 2:41 to go here. 7-0 Grove City. And Homan back in the shotgun again. Man in motion. He's going to hand it off. And he is swarmed in the backfield as Levi Toth gets wrapped up at the 25-yard line for a loss of 1 yard. And they are really hurting without number 6, Jackson Wilson, in this game, as they just have not been able to get much out of the running game.
And Sadowski just came back out onto the field. 51 ran off. He's playing a defensive end position.
That's definitely good to see there as Homan takes the snap, rolls to his left, and he's going to throw it out to the flat. It's caught, but he paid the price right after the catch. Yep. Charlie Miller with the reception, but only for about 5 yards.
A little bit past the original line of scrimmage, so it should be 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10.
Yep, 3rd and 9. Big play here. See if the Bison can get the ball back. Have one more shot before halftime. As Grove City gets the second half kickoff. So the Bison need to stop him here. Homan back to pass. Trying to set up a screen and nowhere to go.
Wow.
As he was pressured very heavily.
That was a great athletic play for him just to get rid of the ball. He looked like Doug Flutie a little bit. He tried to jump, and he had limbs going every which direction, but somehow he got it to go forward.
Yeah, and there was a receiver in the area. So
I don't think he realized he was past the tackle, though. I think he could have just thrown that out of bounds, but he tried to do the right thing.
But there's some heavy pressure there by the Bison as they force another punt for Grove City. See if they can get a good return here. Here's the snap. Kick is away. It's a low line drive. It's going to bounce and take a Grove City bounce all the way inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line. And that's where the Bison will start their next drive with 1 minute and 42 seconds to go here in the first half.
And if this is anything like all of our other games, this is exactly where we want to be. We want to be 7-0. because the second half we're probably going to make some adjustments, and that's probably where we're going to get our points. With a minute 42, I'm not sure if they're going to try to pass it or do a balanced approach.
It'll be interesting to see how aggressive they want to be here.
Because the receivers are open. I know they haven't been completing as many as they would have liked, but it's not because the receivers aren't open.
And Grove City does have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, so, Fort Leboeuf needs to get a couple first downs here at least to keep the ball, as Sadowski is back in the backfield. Walters back to pass. He scrambles to his right. He throws it. First caught and first down. And that is number 10, Dominic Wolfarth.
That was a great play by Walters. He was looking downfield the whole time, and you almost got the feeling that he was running out of the pocket simply to move that defensive back to get him out of the way so the receiver could catch the ball.
And that is a first down as they gain about 13 yards on that play. Up to the 30-yard line, and that gives them the opportunity to start their 2-minute offense here and try to get some points. As Walters takes a snap, he's under pressure, rolling to the right. He throws it away into the sidelines as he had nowhere to go.
There's a flag, but I have no idea why. Some of the Bison are talking to the ref. Number 70 says it's on him.
Maybe an illegal man downfield.
Yeah, 70, Ethan Horn. He tapped his chest like it was on him.
Yeah. And that is the 5th accepted penalty against the Bison today. As that'll move the ball back to the 25-yard line. First down and 15 at the 25. A minute 31 to go. Walters back in the shotgun. He takes a snap. He's going to run up. He's looking for someone to throw to. He doesn't find anybody, and he scrambles up for about 6 yards to the 30 or 31-yard line.
Yeah, just like I said earlier that the receivers were getting open, and, maybe the passes are slightly off. Right now, they're completely covered. That was a smart move by Walters.
Yep. And he can't afford to turn the ball over in this end of the field here, this close to halftime. As that brings up a second down and 9 at the 31. A minute 17 to go. Bison trailing 7-0. Walters in an empty backfield. There's 5 receivers, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Walters takes a snap, back to pass. He throws it to Vamaro in between his hands, through his hands.
Yeah, 27 could have had that picked off. That was 27 Tanner Mong for Grove City, and that could have been an easy pick. He was right there. They might want to change that up a little bit for next time.
Yep.
Because he was anticipating that.
And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9. As the Bison need to pick this up to keep their drive alive and not give Grove City the ball back. And Walters takes the snap. He's looking. And he is sacked back at the 21-yard line as there was nowhere for him to throw the ball as he tried to roll out to the left. And Grove City may have called a timeout to try to get the ball back. With a minute 5 to go in the first half, we will take a break before the Fort Leboeuf punt.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
And I'm not sure if there's something wrong with Lucas Kantz, but they have Xavier Blos back to do the punting. So we hope that there's nothing wrong with Cants in this game.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
And 1:05 to go here in the first half. As Blows takes the snap, and he punts it. It's high and short, and it's fair caught at the 47-yard line.
That puts them in really great field position to score before the half, even if it's just 3 points.
Absolutely. They don't have too far to go here. There's exactly 1 minute to go here as Grove City begins their drive at their own 48-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to have about 12 seconds of play coming down before they score a touchdown if they get some good chunks.
And Sadowski jumps again, as that's his second encroachment penalty of the game. And that gives Grove City a free 5 yards. And these pre-snap penalties are killing them. Last week it was all mostly penalties within the play. Yeah. But this is about the fourth pre-snap penalty in this game.
Yeah, it's one thing to be excited, but if you're undisciplined.
Yep. Homan's going to go deep, and he's got a man, but just overthrows him. As he was going for the chunk play there down the sidelines, but that falls incomplete. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 5 at the Grove City 47.
Is Walters out on defense right now? I don't know if I see him or not. I don't think I see him.
I don't see him.
Okay.
No, he is not. And Grove City back at it. Homan fakes the handoff. He's going to roll to his right, getting pressured by Black. He hits him as he throws it, and Mikey Vamaro breaks up the pass on the sidelines.
And did you see Grove City's players run over to try to help their quarterback up?
Yep.
Yeah, that's good teamwork right there.
Absolutely.
He was up before they could help him, but they were almost in a full-out sprint trying to help him up.
Yeah, Brady Black got in there, and he hit him just as he threw the ball. Brings up a 3rd down and 5 at the 47. Bison need to tighten up here and hold them. Homan back to pass. Sadowski got in there free, but he completes the pass for a 1st down up the 40 to the 30 to the 20, and he is tracked down by Hunter Huck inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, we're just putting them in too favorable of a position each time they have the ball with these penalties, and it's just going to be a matter of time before they start scoring a lot quicker.
And that was a 35-yard gain. As they say, he stepped out of bounds. Stuccio stepped out of bounds at the 12-yard line. That'll bring up a 1st down and 10. They are in scoring position here with 37.4 seconds to go. Homan takes the snap, hands off to Stuccio. He's up the middle. Gets down to about the 6-yard line for about 6 yards.
They have 2 timeouts left, or 3 timeouts actually. We have 2. No, they just used one.
Yeah.
Yep. So with 30 seconds left, they're inside the 10, about the 7-yard line.
Yep, they got plenty of time.
They do. And I'm worried if they go into the Wildcat like they did before, where they put the quarterback off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that we can block them or tackle them. I think they're going to have too many blockers, and they're just going to run it right up the middle.
Yeah, like you said, with 30 seconds left and timeouts remaining, their whole playbook is at their disposal right now. So
well, and they can still get a 1st down.
Absolutely.
So everything's in their favor right now.
Grove City leading 7-0.
And I still don't see Walters out there.
Nope.
That's not going to help us any.
So hopefully Walters is okay. But here we go. 2nd down and 4 at the 7. 30 seconds to go. They have a full house backfield with Homan, Tanner Mong, and Purdy as Grove City
They burned
calls
another
timeout. And they might have just wanted to see what kind of defense the Bison were coming out in.
Yeah, with 30 seconds left, what I think you might see is they're going to run some plays, but they're probably going to rush right back to the line and either run the same play or run something slightly different, going to the right or to the left. It's hard for me to believe that they're going to pass the ball because they don't want to risk the turnover. So I think you're probably going to see a little bit of a wildcat, although they could surprise us. They do have a good passing game. Maybe a pass to the corner of the end zone might be doable if there's no second DB over on that side.
Yep, and when they came out before that last time out, they had 3 guys in the backfield. So, there wasn't a guarantee on who was going to get the snap. So let's see what they come out in this time. As they have Purdy behind center, the running back. So they are going the Wildcat formation as Purdy's going to take the snap and probably, that is quarterback Homan. I apologize. And he throws it to the corner of the end zone, and that's incomplete.
Yep. Instead of running up the middle, they went for the sideline.
Yep, and that ball was just a little bit high as the receiver could not come down with that one. Bringing up 3rd down and 4 at the 7.
Yeah, I don't know that they wanted to burn those 2 timeouts in a row. So they're they went from having an advantage to now making it a little harder on themselves. With 25 seconds left, do you pass or do you risk running the clock and running the ball and not getting back?
And a little bit of confusion. The play clock's under 10. They're just now getting set up. Play clock to 5. And they just barely get it off. Homan rolls out to the right. He throws it to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Gavin Purdy. As he caught the ball about the 2-yard line and just walked into the end zone, giving Grove City a 13-0 lead with 20.9 seconds to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, those 13 points, and if they make this extra point, 14 points, that's a lot bigger than a 2-touchdown deficit in most games because we just haven't been able to move the ball like we've wanted to. I'm not sure what's going to happen in the second half if we don't have Walters coming back to play quarterback.
Yeah, we'll see who comes out as this kick is up and just barely good. He just barely got that over the crossbar, but it is good nonetheless. So with the score 14-0 Grove City, we will take a break.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Jim Brozell Construction at 9298 Peach Street in Waterford. Phone 814-866-2075. Wise Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Waterford. Online at wisept.com. Al's Appliance Sales and Service at 110 High Street in Waterford. Phone 814-796-4007.
Well, and what you're probably going to see here is a kick that doesn't have a chance to get returned is going to be their hope. So it might be one of those short kicks that are high in the air.
Absolutely.
And hopefully they're able to make the tackles because they don't want to risk.
Yeah, they don't want the Bison running one back and giving themselves life. And he kicked it deep.
Well, he gave him a chance.
This is going to be returned. Taking it to 4 by Blows. He's has nowhere to go as he's wrapped up by number 16, Peyton Miller, who made the tackle. And that will...
I'm really surprised they chose to go that way.
Yeah. And Walters is on the sidelines now, I see. He's not going out for this last snap. Now this probably be either a running play or a kneel down just to get it to halftime. With 10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, you're not going to want to risk any kind of play where you're going to get a turnover and give them another set of points.
Right, but that is a good sign to see Walters at least on the sideline standing. And looks like they are going to go into the victory formation just to kneel on it. And they do. That was Xavier Blows who took that snap. And that will do it for the first half as the Grove City Eagles take a 14-0 lead into halftime. And for the second straight week, the Bison are shut out in the first half.
Yep. But if they play like they normally play, the second half is going to be totally different. So right now the band is getting ready, and when they are done, we will have our Corry Federal Credit Union halftime show. But I think the first band to come out will be Grove City. So we're going to hang the microphone out the window and let you guys listen to this band.
Good evening, Waterford, Pennsylvania. My name is Alexander Holmes. Tonight, I'm here to introduce you to Back in the Groove, the 2025 Grove City Eagles Marching Band Halftime Show. Directly ahead of you, drum majors Arden Anderson and Sophia Slipka prepare their band for tonight's performance. Starting us off, we look back to 1969. In October of that year, Motown Records released a single with their newest group, Five Brothers from Gary, Indiana. Well-known acts like the Beatles topped the chart in this highly competitive era for popular music. It wasn't until just after the turn of the decade in January 1970 when the Jackson Brothers peaked the Billboard Hot 100. Here's the track that did it. It's the Jackson 5's I Want You Back. Its message of love, connection, and happiness still resonates today. But the music brings us all a little closer as we feature our dance line with Happy Together. The original tune came from Creedence Clearwater Revival in 1969. It was covered by Ike and Tina Turner in January of 1971. It's time to go rolling on a river with Proud Mary. The band is under the direction of Master Ricky, Assistant Director Alex Holmes, Silkline Dance Advisor, Matthew Red. Special thanks this year goes out to Dr. Joe Pagano, Wilson Love, American Musician, and the Grove City Band team. Silkline co-captains this year are Amy Arnold and Ava Bauer. Dancing co-captains this year are Morgan Lamarca and Abby Schiller. Drumline captains are Wagon Meteor and Echo Beers. The Grove City Band thanks you for your support. You stay classy, Waterford. Look at one.
Please welcome to the field the crowd of Fort Leboeuf, the Stampede of Sound Marching Band. This year's show, titled Built to Last, celebrates 70 years of tradition and excellence in the performing arts here at Fort Leboeuf. Song titles include That's the Way I Like It, Shout It Out Loud, Don't You Worry About a Thing, Hold the Line, and Fat Bottom Girls. Our drum majors are Jade Schatz, Morgan Tatter, and Cameron Ryder. Our junior drum majors, Chase Schatz. Color guard captains are Aaron Latimer, Kylie Lesser, and Sydney Vaughn. Put your hands together for your Fort Leboeuf Marching Band.
All right, we are back for the Corry Federal Credit Union halftime show. Great job by those young men and women in the band for both sides. And as we get ready for the second half, what does Fort Leboeuf need to do, Ben, to get back into this ball game?
Well, Doug, I think the first thing they need to do is they need to get a more effective running game, and obviously the penalties. But most importantly, I'm concerned with Walters not being out there towards the end of the second quarter. He's not only important as a quarterback, but he's really important as a DB. And playing center field and picking those balls off. And if you notice, when he wasn't out there, they were able to pass down the field rather quickly.
Absolutely.
And run. He's a much better tackler than you might think because of all the interceptions he gets and all the running he does at quarterback. But his tackling is really, really important as well because they were able to run right up the middle against us, and he's usually there to help with those tackles. So I think the health of our team, I saw Kantz out here. He's kicking right now on the camera, and I think he's doing okay. But then we also saw Sadowski miss a couple plays. So the question is, are these just bumps and bruises that they can recover from, or is this something we're going to have to deal with for the whole second half?
Right, and we did see Walters standing on the sidelines at the very end of the first half, so hopefully they just kept him out for the last couple minutes just as a precaution, and hopefully he will be back in there. Like you said, Kantz is kicking right now, so he looks like he's good to go as he missed the last kickoff that they did.
Yeah, and are they going to be a team that does this all year, where one quarter to the next changes greatly, or is it going to catch up to them?
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't.
Well,
hopefully they're able to overcome it. Now, how did they do it in weeks past? Hard tackles.
Absolutely. And
but I just haven't seen as many during this game.
Yeah, and last week, they were a completely different team after halftime than what they were in the first half. So we'll see if they come back out with some of the same intensity that they had last week. And last week they were only down 3-0 at halftime. Today they're down 14, and Grove City gets the opening kickoff. So we'll see if they can what they can do here.
Yeah, and I only saw one play where Sadowski lowered the boom, and that play got called back.
Right.
So I don't know that we were able to wear them down the way we were able to other teams in past weeks. That's my biggest concerning point here is we weren't making them have a little bit of a consequence for making those hard tackles.
Absolutely. And going to your point, neither team has been able to run the ball very effectively in the first half. And, both teams are averaging over 200 yards rushing per game. The Bison have a total of 54 yards in the first half, led by Walters with 28. So, not taking anything away from Walters, but when he's your leading rusher, that's not good because you have a guy like Sadowski in the backfield.
Right, exactly. And you want him to be a complementary attack to the run game. You don't want him to be your primary running back because he's got to play safety. And maybe that's why we didn't see him out there.
Absolutely. But on the other side, the Bison have held Grove City to only 22 yards on the ground in this game. But where they've really attacked them is through the air. As Homan, their quarterback, is 8 for 13 for 162 yards in this game.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yep.
And that receiver, the concerning point with that receiver is he's not getting wide open. He's just out jumping our DBs. And I don't know if we have anybody that can compete with that because he's tall, he's got big hands.
Absolutely.
And he's just ripping the ball away. So I'm not really sure, even if we wanted to blitz, he threw like a lob pass to the flat where it wasn't even much more than 10 yards down the field. So it's not like the receiver has to get far down the field and the quarterback needs a lot of time before he throws it. He's been throwing them, in the flat. He's been throwing them 10 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards. So it is a concern. Do we have somebody that can cover that wide receiver? And hopefully, Sadowski came back in a little bit, but we didn't see him running the ball. So hopefully whatever was bothering him isn't going to impact the ground game in the second half.
So hopefully all those bumps and bruises that force some players out in the first half will get them back in the second half. But on the offensive side for the Bison, Walters was 6 for 10 throwing the ball for about 82 yards in the first half. So he had a decent game throwing the ball so far.
Yeah, he did miss one or two open receivers. The other ones that he missed, I think, were just covered. I mean, he just made smart decisions with the ball.
Yep, but they definitely need to get that running game back going if they have any chance of coming back in this game.
I just hope whatever was bothering Walters right before half isn't going to impact him playing quarterback and his ability to throw, because I have a feeling we're going to need to throw the ball a lot more in the second half.
Absolutely. Now he is standing on the sidelines with his helmet on, so hopefully that's a good sign. And looks like Kantz is back to kick the ball off, so it doesn't appear that any of the injuries in the first half are serious.
Yeah, and your ability to play hurt, not injured, but hurt, plays a big role. But you just don't want being hurt turning into an injury. So I appreciate what the coach was doing, giving them some plays off, and hopefully that's all they needed.
Definitely. And Kantz is getting it lined up to start the second half here. And the ball falls off the tee. And it looks like we are ready to get things underway here in the second half. The Bison trailing 14-0. It's their biggest deficit of the year other than the Farrell game. As this ball is pulled down at the goal line, he's going right up the middle. And he is hit, breaks a tackle, breaks a couple more tackles, and he is brought down at the 20-yard line. That was number 23, Charlie Miller, on the return.
Yeah, that was a good return. It almost looked like he was going to break it. But I think he almost ran into his own player right as he had that chance.
So that will set the Eagles up at the 21-yard line to start this series. And let's see if the Bison can shut down their passing attack. And Walters is still on the sideline, so he is not out there for defense. As Homan takes the snap, back to pass. He's going to air it out deep. He's got a man, and it's dropped.
Yep, he just plain dropped it.
He had the catch in his hands at the 50-yard line, but could not pull it in.
Yeah, he just plain dropped it. And it's going to be interesting to see, the Patriots, when they were winning all those Super Bowls with Brady, and they had Brady, of course, but they loved to score points right before half, and they always took the kick after halftime because they knew how important it was to score back-to-back drives without giving the other team the ball. And I feel like they're going to try to strike gold here.
Yep, and he's going to throw it again. He's got a man, but just a little bit too deep. That was Levi Toth that was the intended receiver.
Yeah, he only missed that by inches. Maybe a foot, maybe. But if he would have caught that, the DB was definitely behind him. He would have had a chance to go to the house.
Yeah, that was a touchdown if he was able to run under that one because he had a couple steps on the defender.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to score quick. Wouldn't surprise me if you see another one go to the far side of the field to the receiver out there.
And he hands it off this time around the right side, got it to 25 to the 30, 35, 40, and he runs out of bounds at the 48-yard line as he gains about almost 30 yards on that play up to midfield.
See, so the Bison were thinking the same thing I was thinking. They were looking for the ball to go deep, so they didn't have people up front to stop the run, and now that made it a pretty easy chunk of yardage.
And that was Jonas Stuccio on the carry. We'll give him 29 yards on that run. And that's a handoff, and he gets nowhere on that one as he gets stuffed in the backfield for about a loss of about 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's a big deal. We need to get him in very long distance, so adding a few extra yards to that. But they're so explosive, and the way they're moving right now, that might not be enough. We might need another tackle in the backfield.
Mm-hmm. That sets up second and long, second and about 12. Heath Homan, freshman quarterback for the Eagles. He pitches it out. He bobbles it, and he is able to recover it before it hits the ground. But that could have been a big play as Skylar Sadowski hit him just as he was able to corral that pitch.
Yeah, that almost became a turnover that maybe we could have returned for a touchdown. They were very lucky they didn't fumble that ball.
Yeah, the Eagles got a break on that one, but that sets up a third and about 16 back at the 44-yard line. The Eagles have twins to the left. Homan back to pass, looking to the left. He's throwing it deep, and it's overthrown and almost intercepted by Hunter Huck. But that will set up a fourth down, and Bison force a punt.
Hunter jumped for that, and if the receiver would have kept running, he might have been able to be in a position to intercept that ball. But he stayed with the receiver, which was a smart move, and it just went over his head a few feet.
So the Bison hold him on the Eagles' first offensive possession. 9:52 to go here in the third quarter. Still 14-0 Grove City. And it looks like I think Blows is back to return the kick for the Bison. No rush at all. Low line drive. That's got a hit, and he picks it up at the 25. And
hard tackle.
Yep. That was a risky move to catch that because that ball was bouncing pretty hard.
I like his decision to take that, though, because that would have easily bounced inside the 10.
Absolutely.
Now, maybe it would have gone too hard, and they wouldn't have been able to down it, but I'm glad he didn't take the chance.
Yep. As long as he kept possession of the ball. And Dominic Walters is coming back into the game at quarterback. So we have the Bison have their full complement of offensive players in the game right now.
Well, let's see which Bisons show up right now.
Walters in the back, or in the shotgun. Sadowski to his left. Hands the ball off. Sadowski gets hit and dropped for about a 2-yard gain. Yeah, he's not having very much running room in this game. The one run that he did break off got called back for a penalty.
Yeah, the defensive line for Grove City is dominating right now.
Walters back in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Takes the snap, fakes the hand, or no, he does hand it off to Sadowski. He's got some running room. He stumbles his way up to the 35, past the 35 to about the 38. So that will be a gain of about 15 for Skylar Sadowski.
I think the defense got fooled just like you did. And Walters is so good at keeping the ball in the belly till the last minute And I'm sure they've seen the tape where he pulls it out and runs himself, that they were worried about that. And I think that helped them get those yards there.
Absolutely, as that sets them up at the 39-yard line, 1st and 10. Walters with a pitch out to Vamaro, or no, to Sadowski, the 50, 45-40. And now Sadowski is running like he did last week, as that's another, let's see, 11, that's another 22 yards for Sadowski.
Yeah, and just like we were saying, one half to the next, one quarter to the next, you never know what you're going to get. I don't know what the coach does at halftime to get these guys fired up, but he does something special.
Absolutely. That sets them up at the Grove City 38-yard line. Dominic Walters back in the shotgun. Takes a snap and a fumble. He put it in the belly of Sadowski, and I don't know if he tried to pull it back or if Sadowski just didn't grab it, but either way, there was a little miscue there as Walters falls on it for about a 2-yard loss.
He had the blocking, too. He had some area to at least get a few positive yards on that.
Well, no harm, no foul. 2nd down and 13. As the Bisons are set up at the 41-yard line. Walters takes the snap. This time he hands it to Sadowski. He runs around the right side.
A late flag.
Gives some punishment to number 16, Peyton Miller, on that one, as he gained about 3 yards. Well, let's see what the penalty is. It is on Fort Leboeuf. So let's see if they'll accept that. If they decline the penalty, it would be 3rd and about 11.
Well, they're moving back, so it looks like they're going to take it.
Yep, they are going to accept the penalty.
Another holding call.
So that's going to give Fort Leboeuf the down back, but it's moving them back 5 yards, so that puts up a 2nd and about 18 at the 46-yard line. And they're moving it back some more. Must have been a 10-yard penalty. They only marked off 5 originally. Now they're moving it back 10 yards, so.
What penalty did they call on that?
I didn't see what the penalty call was.
Okay.
But that sets them up 2nd and really long as Walters looks deep. He can't find anybody. He has got a lot of room to run across the 50. Oh, he pulls up before the line of scrimmage, and it's complete to Blows to the 20, the 15. Knocked out of bounds, knocked down at the 5-yard line.
That was such a needed play.
And that was a heck of a play. I don't see it. Is there any flags on the? Oh! They said he was past the line of scrimmage. I was wondering about that, but.
Oh, my goodness. Can we catch a break?
Yep, they called.
What an athletic.
Illegal forward pass.
What an athletic move to make the pass, to make the catch.
That hurt. That would have set him up inside the 5-yard line. And instead, that is a loss of down and a 5-yard penalty.
Wow, it's going to be a lot and a lot.
That's going to bring up 3rd down and about half a mile.
Being down 14-0, I see on the scoreboard it says 2nd and 21. We're down by 14 points.
That was before the play, though, so now it's 3rd and.
Yep, 3rd and 21.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how they're going to recover from all these penalties.
Yep. As Walters they're back at the 44 now. He hands the ball off to Sadowski, put across the 50 to the 41. So he gets back close to the original line of scrimmage.
There's a flag on the field.
Oh my goodness. Let's see what they're going to call this time.
Yeah, this is becoming a real problem. This is going from having the sniffles to a real illness.
Yep, holding on Fort Leboeuf.
And the Boo Birds are out.
Yep, and they are accepting the penalty, so that's going to move the ball back to the 45-yard line. So that's going to bring up they need to get to the
almost
Grove City 28. So
3rd and 26.
yeah. So they have a lot of yards to gain here.
I think you got to try something like a screen pass or a reverse.
Well, if they can get something like they just had and pick up half of it, and then they put themselves in position where they can possibly go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, you just don't want to turn the ball over.
4th and 27. Hand off to Struchin. Up the middle, gets to about midfield for about 5 yards.
And that looked like it was a play just to set up the punt, because he almost looked like he ran directly up the middle on purpose, just to give them good field position so they don't get a good punt return.
Yep.
And that's probably the right move. Because I was just thinking the defense is going to be playing the ball if they try to pass it. They're going to drop back. It's just too far for a high school arm.
Yep. Once again, Blos is back to punt. So there might be something going on with Lucas Cans. Even though he was out at halftime kicking, he's not out there to punt. As Blos gets off a good kick, and that's going to bounce at the 5, but bounces too hard into the end zone.
It's towards the corner. That's the right move.
Yep, yeah, 51-yard punt, but only a 31-yard net as it comes out to the 20-yard line.
Well, and with Cans, a punt is a very different way of kicking than kicking off or a field goal or an extra point. It could totally have different muscle groups. If you pull something, you might still be able to kick a field goal, but not a punt. So I'm not really sure what's going on there.
Right. But Blo's got a good one off there, so they're not losing much punting if he's going to keep punting like that. Just got a little bit too much bounce into the end zone. As Grove City takes over, leading 14-0 with 6.5 to go in the third quarter. Handoff up the middle, and he's going to get wrapped up in the backfield for about a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, our defense has been owning the running game, which was the concern coming in.
Yes, they have not. Grove City has not done anything running the ball, as the Bison defensive line has been all over them. But they've used the running game to set up the pass pretty well, and they've been able to connect on some passes in this game. So we'll see if they can stop them here. 2nd down and 12. And there's a pass, and it is dropped again by Levi Toth.
They are helping us tremendously with these drop passes.
He had some room to run there if he would have been able to pull that one in.
Yeah, I think he was looking downfield before the ball got to him. He was looking to take it to the house. I don't know that he would have been able to, but the defenders were far enough away that he might have that feeling.
He had a head of steam going too, so he would have been able to outrun some people if he had been able to bring that in. But that brings up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 13 at the 17.
We could really use a turnover right about now.
Homan back to pass. He's looking. Can't find anybody. He scrambles up. And he's going to get pushed out of bounds right at maybe about a loss of a yard or two. As that's going to put the ball back at the 17-yard line. So,
well, that gives us some hope. We have 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Those 14 points look astronomical, but anything can happen. All you need is a couple plays strung together. Go back to the beginning of the game. We were running the ball great until those penalties came, right? It slowed us down.
Absolutely.
We can get back to that, but we're going to have to string a few plays together on offense.
Even that last possession, they had a big hitter, but it got called back because of a penalty. So, yeah, they should take over in Grove City territory here as there's a whistle.
Is that a timeout?
And timeout Grove City. So we will step aside for a word from our sponsors.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
All right, here's the punt. And it takes a good bounce, Grove City bounce, and it'll bounce right around midfield. And they're going to mark it. They're going to mark it at the 44. It looked like it headed out of bounds a little bit before that.
Yeah, the crowd is showing their displeasure. I think that's probably a combination of the amount of penalties being called, and they didn't think that ball went out where they're marking it.
It's not where it bounces out of bounds. It's where it goes out in the air. And that ball bounced in the air out of bounds around midfield.
I agree with you.
And no, they might be changing.
No.
Nope, they're going to set it up at the 45. No, I don't agree with that one, and neither do the fans, but it is what it is. Got to live with it. So that'll put the ball 1st and 10 at the 45. 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Walters back to pass. He's looking, finds Vamaro, but just out of his reach. As even if it was caught, it wouldn't have been for very many yards.
Yeah, Walters just looks different throwing tonight, and I don't know if that's the coverage, but he just feels like he's pushing the ball. He doesn't seem like he's snapping it, and that's not like him.
Yeah, he doesn't seem as in sync as he's been in the past few games.
It's like his upper body and lower body aren't communicating well together, because his mechanics are usually pretty spot on.
Absolutely. 2nd down and 10. Walters in the shotgun. Takes the snap, hands it off to Sadowski. Gets some running room up to the 50, across the 50 to about the 48-yard line for about 7 yards. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 3. Very manageable.
Yep, 3rd and 3.
And Sadowski finally getting some running room here in the second half. See if they can continue that as they're back in Grove City territory. Their last possession got into Grove City territory but stalled because of penalties. And there's a pitch out to Sadowski. He gets ahead of steam up. He runs over a man, and he gets the 1st down across the 45. And that's the Skylar Sadowski we've been used to seeing this year.
Yeah, he's getting a little attitude right now. I think he's getting kind of annoyed and frustrated, and he just let it out on that defender, which is exactly what you want to do when you're down 14-0.
Absolutely.
Right now, they're going to have to win this on pure toughness. That's just how it's going to have to play out. And they're going to have to hit harder and tackle harder than the other team.
That sets up a 1st down and 10 at the Grove City 45-yard line. Xavier Blos goes in motion. Walters hands it off to Sadowski. He breaks a tackle in the backfield, runs over another defender, and he gets over the 40-yard line to about the 39 for another 6 yards.
Yeah, and that's what everybody is starting to get a little bit of an attitude, which is exactly what you want right now. And just under 4 minutes in the third quarter, this could go really well for us. They're not thinking. They're just acting. They're just playing. They're just getting after it.
They're just doing it.
They're not overanalyzing.
They give him 5 yards on that play up to the 40-yard line. 2nd down and 5. Walters takes the snap, fakes the handoff this time. He's going to roll out to the left. He throws it wide open for his Struchin up to the 20, the 15,
Come on,
10. He breaks a tackle down inside the 5 to about the 2-yard line. as there's a Grove City player slow to get up. But what a play and throw by Dominic Walters.
And if they knew that player was running from behind, they call timeout?
Yeah, there's an official timeout.
Oh, I was going to say, if they ran to the line, they would have had a chance to hike it and get...
Oh, it looks like there's a Fort Leboeuf player down. That might be Struchin who made the play. It's down right where the tackle was made. So we're going to step aside here for a word from our sponsors.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Leboeuf Creek Cattle, phone 814-572-7979. Waterford Beverage at 12001 Peach Street, phone 814-796-2507. Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill at 12711 Route 19 in Waterford, phone 814-796-2017. Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by High T Fence Systems in Waterford, online at hightfenceinc.com. O'Brien Transmission Service in Youngsville, phone 814-563-7120. J.H. Napa Auto Parts in Corry, Union City and Waterford, online at napaonline.com.
And that was Struchin who was down. He's walking off the field gingerly, but you got to love the energy that they brought in this drive, and hopefully that doesn't stop, even though Struchin might have to sit for a few plays.
Absolutely. That was a 39-yard gain from the 40 down to the 1-yard line.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was stretching to try to go for the end zone, and at the same time that he pushed his weight that way, the tackler was taking him the same way, and it just looked like it was an awkward fall.
With 3:27 to go here in the third quarter, Bison trying to cut the Grove City lead in half. They have 4 shots from the 1-yard line here as Walters lining up in the shotgun. He takes the snap, hands it off. Sadowski up the right side. Touchdown! Skylar Sadowski.
Boy, did we need that.
As the Fort Leboeuf Bison finally get on the board.
You know, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The second half is the time they shine.
And it looks like they're contemplating going for 2 as Walters is still out there. We don't know the availability of Lucas Kantz, their kicker. So the play clock is running, and they are going to go for 2 to try to cut this to a 6-point game. As Dominic Walters in the backfield. Sadowski to his left. High snaps, giving it to Sadowski up the middle. He's going to be awfully close.
Short.
And they do not give it to him.
He was on the half-foot line. He was like right there.
And so the Bison are turned away, but they do cut the lead to 14-6 as we will cut away for a word from our sponsors.
Support for this broadcast is provided by Family Ink Innovations, specializing in screen printing, banners, yard signs, and much more. Located at 319 High Street in Waterford and 104 West Smith Street in Corry, and online at FamilyInkInnovations.com. Phone 814-462-6628. The Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks Family Ink Innovations for their support.
Okay, so they didn't make the 2-point conversion. The score is 14-6. So they're going to have to hold them and then hopefully get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And then they're going to need to score another time. And if Kantz can't go as a field goal kicker, that's going to change their approach quite a bit the rest of this way.
Yes, that's definitely going to come into play. Although Kantz is kicking off though, so I don't know what the issue is. Maybe it's their snapping difficulties that they've had over the past 2 weeks too. You know,
that's true. It might not be Kantz at all. It might just be that they're not getting a good snap.
Yep, and he kicks it off down the middle. It's going to bounce and roll towards the end zone and go into the end zone. So luckily it went into the end zone and not out of bounds. So that'll set Grove City up at the 20-yard line.
I was almost ready to see a recap. I don't know if you caught the Steeler game last weekend where their new rookie running back let the kickoff go into the end zone and gave the Seattle Seahawks a free touchdown.
Of course, the difference between this and that is as soon as the ball touches the end zone in high school, it's a dead ball, and it's and that's kind of what Caleb Johnson was thinking in the Steeler game. But
I was kind of hoping it didn't make it in there and he let it go. Like, oh, it's going to go in the end zone. Let's let it go.
That would have been nice to recover that at about the 1-yard line.
Yeah. Because you know how funny a football can bounce.
Yeah, absolutely. As Heath Homan back in the shotgun, he hands it off up the middle. And not too much for Struccio as he gets to about the 23.
He got about 3 or 4 yards, but he paid for it. Yeah, that was a solid tackle.
And if Grove City's going to hold on to this lead, I think they're going to have to rely more on their passing like they did in the first half because they are just not getting anything running the ball against the Fort Leboeuf defense. As Homan hands it off again. Struccio around the right side. He's going to be cut down at about the 28, so he's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down on that one. And another big third down coming up here. As third and about 2 as they're going no huddle and they're
Our defense is looking a little winded. I think the players that are playing both ways are getting a little tired.
And Homan, they're taking their time now once they're at the line of scrimmage, but they're not allowing Fort Leboeuf to substitute. So I think that was the big reason for the no huddle. As they have a man in motion. Homan rolling out to the left. He's looking for a man. He's getting pressure, and he just throws the ball out of bounds. And that is a pen. They throw a penalty.
He was out of the pocket.
He was out of the pocket, but did the ball get past the line of scrimmage? Because the ball has to go to the line of scrimmage in order for it to be allowed to be thrown away.
Caden Milner was putting on the pressure, and he stumbled a little bit.
And they just throw another flag. So I think that second flag was for intentional grounding. What that first flag was, I don't know. So let's see what the officials sort out here.
Yeah, Milner had the pressure on him, and he stumbled and fell. And if the quarterback would have realized that at almost right after he fell, he shoved the ball out of bounds, he probably could have ran for the first down.
Exactly. He only needed 2 yards for a first down. So I thought he was going to run.
Well, they're talking to Fort Leboeuf coaches, which means we probably have the choice on whether or not to accept the penalty.
And like I said, I think there might be 2 fouls on the play.
I didn't see anybody
Illegal forward pass is the one call. I just saw the referee give that motion. So that is definitely the call from over here on the sidelines. But there was one on the far end of the field. Well, you said it's probably, ineligible downfield is the first penalty. That got declined. The second penalty is the illegal forward pass, which that comes with a loss of down. So Fort Leboeuf will accept that penalty. So it'll be a loss of yardage and the loss of down. So all in all, that was the best possible scenario for the Fort Leboeuf Bison.
Yeah, it's good to have a few penalties go our way. You don't want to rely on that, though, but it does help.
Absolutely. So that'll bring up 4th down and long at the 15-yard line, 4th and about 15.
Now, their quarterback is still out there. Is he their punter as well?
I don't think so. I can't imagine they'd go for it.
I was going to say, they're out there for quite a long time. I'm not sure.
Well, the scoreboard still had 3rd down, so they might have been confused on what down it was. But, they're definitely bringing the punt team back on the field. And this should give Fort Leboeuf good field position once again. Their punter has not been getting a lot of air under his punts. And here's the punt. This one is higher. Xavier Blos with the fair catch, and he catches it as he falls down at the 43-yard line. So that'll set the Bison up with excellent field position once again, down by 8, 14-6, with just under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
And catching those punts in the dark is really hard, and it looked like he got a little confused of how fast it was coming down. And I like that he fell down. I think that actually helped him catch it to make sure he didn't fumble.
Yeah, he made sure that he
had his body
secured
underneath it. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if the Bison can build off a last drive and go down and tie it up. Walters in the backfield. Sadowski to his left. Black goes in motion. There's a pitch out to the left. Sadowski's got a lot of running room around the end.
It's coming
down
back.
to the 40. He had a first down, but there is a penalty flag behind the play.
Yeah, I saw that one happen. That was legit.
And once again, the Fort Leboeuf Bison shoot themselves in the foot.
That was a big hold, too. It wasn't just a hold. He almost tackled the defensive lineman. It was pretty obvious.
You know, we haven't heard too much from Brady Black today. He's been out there, but he hasn't had many touches in this game. So we'll see if he comes into play at some point as maybe a little change of pace from giving it to Sadowski.
Has Strutchen come back into the game?
I don't see him out there. I'm not positive.
Okay. I haven't seen him either.
And Walters takes a snap, hands it off to Sadowski, breaks a couple tackles, but is stacked up for about a 1 yard gain up at about the 48-yard line.
Yeah, if we continue these penalties, we're not going to win. It's just not going to happen.
Yep. Too many times the penalty negates a big play. You know,
almost every big run we've had.
That's the second or third time this game where they've had a big positive gain and it's gotten called back. So that puts it second down and 19 at the 48-yard line. Walters in the shotgun, takes a snap, fakes the handoff this time, rolls out, and that ball is way overthrown and intercepted, and that was intended for Strutchen. So he was back in the ball game, I believe.
Well, that's our one big play tonight, and they knew that, so they were ready for it.
Yep, and that ball that never had a chance to be completed.
Yeah, we went
Walters throws the interception.
We went to the cookie jar one too many times with that play.
Absolutely. So with 34.3 seconds left in the third quarter, Grove City regains possession. First and 10 at their own 39-yard line. Should be the last play of the third quarter. As Homan takes the snap, that's Purdy up the middle in the Wildcat formation again, and they've had success with that. The couple times that they've run that,
it looked like he wanted to hand the ball off because after the running back ran past him, he almost like flinched, and he just took off like a rocket up the middle.
Yeah.
Got him some positive yards. When things are going your way, things are going your way.
The clock's winding under 10 seconds, and it doesn't look like they're going to snap it. So that will be the end of the third quarter as Grove City holds a slim 14-6 lead over the Bison. And we will be right back for the start of the fourth quarter.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
All right, we're back for fourth quarter action. 12 minutes to go here in the ball game as Fort Leboeuf trails 14-6. Grove City has the ball, second down and 4 at the 45-yard line. And there's Purdy again taking the direct snap as he gets the first down and then some up to the 46-yard line of Fort Leboeuf. And they have taken their quarterback Homan off the field for the last couple of plays and have just gone with Gavin Purdy.
Well, our defense is having a hard time stopping that as long as they don't get penalties. And I think right now they're just going to try to eat up the clock and get out of here with a 14-6 win. And if they happen to score, then great.
And there's Purdy again. Why? Big hole up the middle to the 35, to the 30. And he runs out of bounds at the 23-yard line. There was a huge hole there as he gains about 22 yards on that play.
So now we understand why they had two running backs with a lot of yardage. They have the one running back at the beginning of the game. Then if they get the lead, they put somebody else in to give us a few extras. Even though I think Purdy's the only one that's been running tonight.
Yeah, Purdy's been their main guy. Their other big running back, Jackson Wilson, has been out in this game. So here's Purdy again up the middle. He gets dragged down at the 20-yard line, but another positive gain, about 4 yards, as Purdy is just eating up the yardage up the field.
Yeah, and you can see the frustration on the defensive line right now, the way they're walking around, and I don't blame them. They're just getting a little frustrated because they're just being outmanned at this moment. 77 doesn't know if he's staying on or going off. This isn't good.
And he does get off the field. Trips receivers to the right, to the left, and Purdy this time gets nowhere. Maybe a yard as he is cut down right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Ethan Horn with a great tackle. He's had several of those tonight where he has just engulfed the running back. Oh, we got number 5 coming back out.
And Gavin Purdy is a freshman. He comes off the field as their quarterback, Homan, another freshman, is back on the field. So more of a traditional setup here as we got third down and 7 at the 21-yard line. Play clock under 5 seconds. Homan's going to roll to the left. He lost it into the end zone. That could be picked off, and it's knocked away. But there were 2 Fort Leboeuf defenders right there that could have had a shot to intercept that ball.
I just went 2 games ago with that immaculate reception that they had in the corner of the end zone against us.
Yep.
It was just replaying in my head as I saw that play, materialize. But we definitely had a chance for an interception there. Yep. The quarterback was smart enough and threw it far enough to the line where it was just out of reach.
And that sets up a 4th down and 7. They are lining up to go for it. Big play here. Play clock under 5. They're going to let it run all the way down, and timeout Grove City. So they will go to the sidelines to talk about things with 10:04 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's 14-6 Grove City.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Jim Brozell Construction at 9298 Peach Street in Waterford. Phone 814-866-2075. Wise Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Waterford. Online at wisept.com. Al's Appliance Sales and Service at 110 High Street in Waterford. Phone 814-796-4007. Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by High T Fence Systems and Water.
Okay. Grove City is down to 1 timeout with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and that might come to a real advantage for Fort Leboeuf by the end of the game.
4th down and 7. Big play here as the Grove City Eagles are going to go for it. Takes a snap, back to pass. He throws it into the end zone. There's some fighting, and they throw the flag. Interference on Brady Black.
I have to disagree with that call. I got to be honest. That was not. I don't think that was intentional. I think the receiver slowed down, and I think that he just ran into the defender.
Yep, I apologize. That was not Brady Black. That was number 23, Giovanni Bartone, that the flag is thrown on.
Yeah, and the crowd's going to let you hear it. I don't know that was a good call.
That was not. There wasn't enough contact there, I don't think, to warrant a penalty.
I think the defensive back was going for the ball, and he has a right to do so.
And I think their legs more or less just got tangled up.
Yeah, that was a wow.
And that will be a half the distance to the goal penalty as the Bison commit their 10th penalty of the game.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that the more penalties you get, the more likely you're going to get called on things like that. I think the more disciplined you are throughout the course of the game, the more they're going to let that play out.
Yeah, the referee was looking for that one, as that sets him up at a 1st down and 10. And he runs around the right side, and he doesn't get very much. Gets about a yard or two, but there is a flag on the play.
Yep. So there might be a horse collar. There might be some, or a holding. Hopefully it's on Grove City.
I think it's on Grove City because that flag came out long before the tackle was made.
Yeah, that tackle was around the neck. So, okay, well, that's good.
So I'm thinking that it was a call in the backfield.
Yep. All right, that's going to help.
Holding. And that'll move the ball back 10 yards. So Grove City gets bitten by the penalty bug there. So that'll put it back at 2nd down and 20 at the 22.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to go with Purdy here. Oh, no, Purdy's heading out.
Yep.
Okay.
Purdy's out and Homan's back in.
This has to give the opposing team a lot to think about.
Absolutely.
When they're practicing during the week.
Yep.
To have two effective quarterbacks who have very different games, and you have to spend your practice time putting that together, that's quite an advantage.
Definitely. And, of course, Purdy doesn't throw the ball, but he's a very effective runner when he does take the snap. As Homan takes the snap, he fakes the handoff, and that ball was almost caught, but if he didn't get a hand on it, that would have been intercepted, I think.
I would have agreed with you. I agree, and right now we need something like that on our defense. Our defense needs to put our offense in a position to score.
And that is 5 straight incompletions for Homan, who's 0 for 5 in the second half. So their passing game not nearly as effective in the second half as it was in the first half.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised they're going with Holman right now, seeing that they had all that success with Purdy.
Absolutely. 2nd down and 20. Homan hands it off, and he gets nowhere. That's Stuccio. Don't.
Yep.
And they didn't call it.
They didn't call it, but I got to tell you, the refs blew that whistle late. So him getting thrown down like that,
right?
I blame the refs on that one.
Absolutely.
Because by the time they blew the whistle, his momentum was already taking him down.
Yep. Although I do. Let's see, what do they call it? I think there is a flag on the play. I see something down there. Maybe that isn't a flag. Maybe that's just something else. But either way, that's a gain of about 1 yard. So that sets up 3rd down and 19 at the 21. Another big 3rd down here for. And
penalty, delay game.
The Fort Leboeuf coaching staff was going crazy on the sidelines, and they finally got the officials' attention to look at the play clock.
Yeah, coach was ready to jump out of his shoes.
Yep, there was about 2 or 3 coaches there that were waving their arms, and so that'll move the ball back 5 more yards.
All right, this is a huge advantage right now. This is a huge advantage because if we can keep them from getting points, we have a chance to tie this.
And the last time they had 4th down around the same area, they didn't go for the field goal. So I'm thinking that their field goal kicker doesn't have this kind of range. So they might be forced to go for it again on 4th down, which they need to get to the 2-yard line for a first down as Homan goes back to pass. That's Oh! That was almost intercepted.
Was that Sadowski?
I believe so.
He just didn't time his jump quite right.
Yep, went right off his fingertips.
He would have had a touchdown.
Yeah, he would have.
If he could have got that in stride, he would have been gone.
He would have been off to the races. That sets up a 4th down and 24 at the 26-yard line. And it looks like Purdy's back in the game. So is Homan, their quarterback. Oh, maybe they are kicking it. No, they're setting up for a field goal. Homan is the holder.
That's going to be a heck of a kick.
This is going to be a 42-yard field goal by number 24, Jonah Stuccio. And Grove City burns their last timeout. So if this remains a close game, that could come into play late in the game.
I don't know why you would call a timeout and freeze your own kicker.
Yep. Yeah. But we will step aside for 1 minute for a word from our sponsors.
For Leboeuf football coverage on the sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by High T Fence Systems in Waterford, online at hightfenceinc.com. O'Brien Transmission Service in Youngsville, phone 814-563-7120. J.H. Napa Auto Parts in Corry, Union City, and Waterford, online at napaonline.com.
So I don't think the coach, he's used all his timeouts. He must really have faith in his defense. This is going to be a long field goal.
It's going to be a 42-yard attempt for Stuccio. The kick is up, and it is going to be short. And it had the accuracy, it looked like, but it fell just under the crossbar. So the Fort Leboeuf Bison keep it a one-possession game as the score remains 14-6 as they take over at the 20-yard line.
Right now the Bison have the momentum. That was a huge stop. If they could put a couple plays together and get themselves in 3rd and short, they need to get the ball just moving forward. So maybe just a run up the middle, try to get a couple runs, get 3 yards a pop. Something where it's 3rd and short and not 3rd and a country mile.
Definitely. They need to get Sadowski going again like he was in the 3rd quarter. As Walters back in the shotgun. 4 receivers in the formation. 2 men go in motion. They get set. There's a handoff to Sadowski up the middle. He's got some room to the 40. The 45 breaks a couple tackles. Almost a late hit there, but
that's how Sadowski likes it.
Skylar Sadowski with a 26-yard run, 27-yard run up to the 47-yard line, and Sadowski has it going here in the second half.
And those are the positive yards we needed. I just wish it didn't take till the 3rd and 4th quarter to get them. When they seem to play angry, and I'm going to use that word angry because that's how they're playing, they do a lot better. Now, they probably can't spend that kind of emotion the whole game. I understand that. But, man, you can tell when they're really focused.
Walters hands it to Sadowski. He's got some more running room to the 50, the 45, 40, into the secondary, across the 40 across the 35 to the 33-yard line for 16 more yards. And Skylar Sadowski is just running like a man possessed right now.
Yeah, he loves the pressure, like we've been talking about all season. This team likes to be behind. They like to be the underdog. They like to have that challenge. And the more pressure you put on them, the better they perform.
First down and 10 at the Grove City 34-yard line. Blos goes in motion. Walters takes a snap, hands it to Sadowski up the middle. He's got a whole host of running room. He fumbles the ball.
We got it.
And a Fort Leboeuf player jumped on top of it.
I saw Sadowski when he had that handoff made. You saw him with the ball down around his thigh, so it wasn't a clean handoff. And that's the second time we haven't had a clean handoff. And he just wasn't able to gather it back up before he was hit.
And it looks like Vamaro was the man who recovered the fumble. So that is good enough for a first down as Sadowski gains 12 yards on that play. That sets them up 1st and 10 at the 21. They're knocking on the red zone right now. And fake handoff to Sadowski. Walters, could have been a face mask there.
Yeah, it is.
And
there it is.
They called it.
Last time that happened, it wasn't called. This time it was. That's going to be huge.
Walters was sacked in the backfield for about a 5-yard loss, but the defender that made the tackle did grab his face mask, and that will move the ball half the distance to the goal line.
It is unbelievable. What is this coach giving them at halftime that make them come out and play so much better? They are just so fired up right now.
They are. And that's going to move the ball. It's only a 5-yard face mask. In high school, they still have the 5-yard face mask. So that moves it up to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, this momentum they're putting together is just wonderful. It's what we saw in the first drive. They got hampered with a penalty, but...
And referees are going to talk about it.
I would just keep running the ball the exact same way. I wouldn't change a thing.
Absolutely. But yeah, nothing against Dominic Walters as a runner, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it,
well,
you know.
And right now they're taking so long for this play, Sadowski's getting a breath.
Yeah.
So if he's getting a chance to catch his breath, why would you do anything other than that?
Absolutely. So that puts the ball 1st and 12 after the penalty. Sets them up at about the 23-yard line. They can get a first down at the 11. Walters in the shotgun. Hands it off to Sadowski around the right side. Makes a man miss and gets up to about the 20-yard line for about 3 yards. That'll set up a 2nd down and
10.
About 10, yeah, they're marking it at the 21. So back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and with 6:14 left in the game, they're not going to have the luxury of a field goal right here. They're going to have to score. They're going to have to get the 2-point conversion.
Absolutely. This is 4-down territory here. As the clock winds under 6 minutes, 14-6 Grove City Eagles over the Fort Leboeuf Bison. Dominic Walters in the backfield. Sadowski to his right. Blows, takes a little shovel pass, and he's going to get wrapped up in the backfield for about a 6-yard loss back to the 27.
I like the idea of changing it up, adding a little wrinkle. It could have worked, but it just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yep, that was a tough play there. As that sets them back 3rd down and about 16.
Yeah, and Grove City's not going to have to worry about them trying to throw the ball over the top because they're in such short field. So this is going to be a really, really challenging play right here, to throw this ball and not have it picked off.
And they do have 2 plays to pick it up, so they don't have to get it all on this play. And a whistle and a timeout by Fort Leboeuf. So with 5:03 remaining in regulation, we will step aside with Grove City ahead 14-6.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
Well, Fort Leboeuf Bison football is not for the faint of heart. These games seem to always be coming down to the wire lately.
Absolutely. 3rd down and 16 at the 27. 5:03 to play. Dominic Walters in an empty backfield. 5 receivers. out in the formation, takes a snap. He's looking. He's going to scramble forward. He's going to run, and he's going to gain about 6 or 7 yards. Oh, he made a move on the sideline, but I think they ruled that he stepped out of bounds.
No, I think he knee down. The angle I have here, it looked like he got hit. He stumbled backwards, and his right knee, I think, grazed the ground, and they called it.
And that'll bring up a 4th down at they're marking it at the 23. So 4th down and 12.
Yeah, if I was the coach right here, I'd probably go to Vomero on a fade or a deep slant or a post route, honestly. Just go to the goal post.
The Bison have 2 timeouts remaining. 4 minutes to go. Walters scrambles to the right, and he's not going to get anywhere.
He had no time.
He is swallowed up at the 27-yard line.
Yep, he had 0 time. As soon as he hiked that ball, the pressure was on that side. You could tell he was wanting to go left. He was forced to go right. That was the perfect defensive call for that situation.
Yep. He had nowhere to go. And the Bison turned the ball over on downs. But with 2 timeouts remaining and over 4 minutes to play, they still have a shot if they can hold Grove City. But they have to hold them.
My guess is you'll see a steady diet of Purdy running up the middle. I could be wrong. Nope, they got Huffman out there. Or Hauman out there.
And he takes a snap, hands off up the middle. Struccio up to the 30. And he's going to gain about 3 yards. Brings up 2nd down and 7 at the 30. 3 minutes and 56 seconds on a running clock. The Bison don't have to burn their timeouts yet, but 1 first down, and they're going to be in position where they're going to have to call timeouts to get the ball back.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a strip tackle. They're going to have to strip the ball.
Heath Homan back in the shotgun. Struccio right behind him. And he hands off up the middle, and they wrap him up. He fights for a couple more yards, for about 3 yards. And Fort Leboeuf will use their 2nd timeout before this 3rd down play. And we will step aside for one more word from our sponsor.
Fort Leboeuf football coverage on the Sunny 105.7 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is brought to you by Leboeuf Creek Cattle, phone 814-572-7979. Waterford Beverage at 12001 Peach Street, phone 814-796-2507. Wagon Wheel Bar and Grill at 12711 Route 19 in Waterford, phone 814-796-2017.
And being that Fort Leboeuf is electing to use their timeouts now on this first set of downs, this is crucial that they stop them here on 3rd down.
Yeah, I think it's the right call, though, because they're going to need that time if they're going to score again.
Absolutely. 3rd down and 4. Homan takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. He's fighting for yardage. I think he's a little bit short.
It's going to be
Let's see where they mark it.
And Grove City has a player down. He's rolling around. It doesn't look like he's feeling too good.
They are moving the chains, so they are going to give him the 1st down. And that injury helps Fort Leboeuf as it stops the clock, but that is a 1st down, as that looks like number 66, which is Malachi Whitley, defensive lineman. So we will step aside for a moment for a word from our sponsors.
Support for Fort Leboeuf Bison football play-by-play on the Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream is provided in part by the Corry Federal Credit Union. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Bison the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you or your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street, Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartansburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Sunny 105.7 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of Bison football play-by-play.
All right, Malachi Whitley got off the field under his own power. But that previous play was a first down, so first down and 10 at the 37 as they wind the clock. And Grove City, this is smart. They're taking the play clock all the way down to waste as much time as they can, as we're under 3 minutes to go. As he hands off, and that's Purdy up the middle. And he's going to gain about 6 or 7 as the Bison burn their final timeout of the game at 2:38 to play here in the fourth quarter.
And for as great as they've played in the second half, and as much as enthusiasm and toughness they've shown, you just can't overcome all the penalties that they've accrued over this game. At some point, they have to let the mental part of the game match their athletic ability, because we have the athletes to win these games. But it's just hard to constantly dig yourself out of a hole.
Absolutely. And today they committed 10 penalties. Last week, I would have to guess that they probably committed more than that. So that is definitely something that they need to shore up here in the coming weeks if they're going to have a successful season. But it's not over yet. It's second down and 5, as if the Bison can stop them here on the next couple plays, they will get the ball back with very little time left. But one first down, and that will be the ball game. As Homan sets up kind of in the pistol formation with a running back behind him. Hands it off, up the middle, first down and more, and that should do it. As Gavin Purdy gains about 10 yards on that play, and they stop the clock momentarily to move the chains.
Yeah, our defense was playing so close to the line of scrimmage, trying to stuff the run. All he had to do was make it that first layer of linemen, and he almost broke that big time.
He did. And the Eagles are going to let the clock wind as much as they can right now. The play clock's under 10. And Fort Leboeuf's going to have to go for a strip right now and force a fumble. There's the handoff. Gains a couple yards up to the 41.
Yeah, and the running back is running really smart. He's just going straight ahead and just falling forward. It doesn't look like he's trying to drag anybody with him, because the more you do that, the more you risk having a turnover.
Yep, and honestly, they can't completely run out the clock, but if Fort Leboeuf can stop them on the next 2 plays, they'll get the ball back with less than 30 seconds left. So the Bison's hopes are dwindling as there's a whistle on the field. Neither team has a timeout left. So not exactly sure what the game clock kept running. They need to put more time back on the clock.
That might be what they're talking about.
If they're going to reset the play clock. Because I don't know what that last play ended with exactly 2 minutes left. And the game clock is showing 1:32. The play clock was down to 10. So they're resetting the play clock, but they have to put time back on the game clock. They're not starting the game clock.
Yeah, now they are.
Now they are.
Yeah, I'm not sure
I don't understand that.
I don't know what that conversation was about out on the field. I'm not sure why they did what they did. And Purdy's looking back like he's at the running back position. He has his head turned, wondering what's going on.
There's a handoff to Purdy, and he gets nowhere. as that's going to set up a 3rd down and long. And they won't have to stand the ball. The game clock is under a minute now. 3rd down and 10. They won't have to snap this until. Yeah, see, I don't understand that because when they reset the play clock, they didn't reset the game clock, and now this is going to allow Grove City to run out the clock because they run one more play and then the game's over as the clock reaches under 35 seconds. But that 1st down play ended with exactly 2 minutes left, which means they were able to take over a minute off the clock in between 1st and 2nd down, which shouldn't have happened. The referees are definitely not the reason why Fort Leboeuf lost, but that last sequence got screwed up by the referees as they allowed the play clock to be reset without adding time to the game clock.
When you're getting 10+ penalties in a game, you can't really blame the refs on just about anything because it's 14-6.
Absolutely. I mean,
they had enough drives that they could have gotten scores on.
Yep. The Bison had their opportunities without a doubt, but they, like you said, penalties killed them, and they just couldn't overcome them. They had a couple of big plays called back because of penalties, and defensively they played pretty well.
Yeah, I think they did.
They held the Grove City rushing attack to way under their season average. The passing in the first half by Grove City is what did it.
Athletically, the Bisons have everything they need to win all of these ball games. It's the penalties, it's the brain cramps, it's the mistakes, and it's understandable, but not at the level that they're showing it. And I think that they're all probably going home tonight kicking themselves for those penalties. The kids know it. The coaches know it. They've talked about it. But at some point, if you want to win these games, you got to be more disciplined. And a couple of the holdings that I saw were almost like tackles.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like – it was like I'm just holding on the outside of your shoulder.
Yeah, they're not subtle about it.
They're not subtle. Now, maybe some of them were, but there was one where it was just he got dragged down. And I don't know if that's coming out of frustration, if that's coming out of slow reaction time. But regardless, they have to kind of try to get that squared away. So right now, we're struggling with our kicking game, getting the field goals. We're struggling with our offensive line blocking. We're doing a really good job on defense. Our defense hasn't really – 14 points against Grove City, I'll take that. But we really could have easily put up 21, 28 points if we could have played a cleaner game.
Absolutely. And, Grove City came into this game having scored 30 points in each one of their games this year, and they were averaging 36 points a game this year. So to hold them to 14 points, 22 points under their season average, you expect to win a game like that. If I told you before the game that Grove City would score 14 points, I would think that Fort Leboeuf would have won going away.
Absolutely. And that's just kind of what we're looking at. We're looking at a championship-type team, but they're not playing at the level we know they're capable of. So will those things get squared away moving forward? We sure hope so. Their next game is against General McLean. And after General McLean, and I know that they're going to be ready to play. Their coach gets them conditioned. His off-season program is quite something.
Yeah.
I know some of the players there, and they think, eat, sleep, drink, and breathe football 24/7. So if we can't clean this up, we're going to have a hard go against General McLean. Then we got to go against Fairview. Then we meet Harbor Creek, Girard, Mercier's Prep. So right now we have 5 games to try to get these things fixed. And with our record is a decent record, but there's no guarantee that we're going to win out.
Absolutely. And just as a side note, General McLean right now is leading Corry 28-12. So it looks like they are going to be coming off a win coming into next week's game. So it will be another tough one for the Bison.
Well, just like coming off the Farrell game where we lost and it got us focused, maybe this is another wake-up call. And obviously, you don't expect to go through the whole season and not lose a game, but it's how we lost this game. In the Farrell game, they just outplayed us.
Mm-hmm.
They out-schemed us a little bit. Those things, fixable. This game, we didn't get beat. I feel like we just lost it.
Absolutely. Yeah, they beat themselves. And, about half of the penalties that they had were pre-snap penalties, too. That can't happen at this point in the season. We're 5 games into a 10-game season. By the midway point, you should not be having false starts and encroachment penalties on defense.
Too many men moving in motion, lineman downfield, and eligible receiver downfield.
Absolutely.
There was a lot of different stuff happening today.
Those are definitely plays that need to be corrected and shouldn't be happening at this point of the season.
Yeah, I mean, they're an emotional team. They play with a lot of passion, and you need to. But once again, if it gets too carried away, you go from being a disciplined, assertive player to being overly aggressive, and that's where the mistakes happen. What is the answer? I'm not sure. But I hope they find it soon.
Yeah, going forward, they're going to have to come out in that first half and play like they have in the second half the last 2 weeks, because they can't keep falling behind at halftime and expect to come back every week.
Yeah, you don't want to rely on that. That's not a recipe for success. I just don't know the answer at this point. And we didn't get any turnovers. We got one turnover at the beginning of the game?
Yeah.
We got one turnover.
Had one turnover.
Yeah, normally, our wins, we get a few more than that.
And they had a couple opportunities for some interceptions. That one late in the game where Sadowski had it in his hand, go through his hands. Like you mentioned at the time, that could have been a pick six, as he could have been off to the races, but it just slipped through his hands, and they were just a few inches away on a few plays.
Yeah, things just didn't go their way today, but they didn't help themselves out. But once again, the game was theirs to have. They just weren't able to grab a hold of it. Now, we have a lot of good players, and they're very prideful, and that's a good thing in football. So I'm sure they're going to put in the work, and I'm sure we're going to see a better game than we saw today moving forward.
Absolutely. And let's hope that there are bumps and bruises. They had several players leave for a few plays here and there. So hopefully they all returned by the end of the game. So hopefully they will all be back and not too bad for going forward, but at this time of the year, there's going to be lots of bumps and bruises on these players.
All right, well, thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope you can join us again. Our next home game is going to be October 10th versus Harbor Creek. So next week, we're going to be away at General McLean, and then we're going to have another away game at Fairview. We'll be back October 10th against Harbor Creek, then another away game October 17th against Girard, and then a home game against Mercier's Prep, which I'm sure will be a challenging game, and it's probably a good thing we're going to be home for that one.
And then hopefully the playoffs.
Hopefully the playoffs. They definitely have the talent. Okay, so thank you, everybody, for our Corry Federal Credit Union post-game show. This has been Brozich and Doug Gilghrist. We'll be signing off. Have a good night.